Welcome back for a weekly market updates. This week's market update is going to be about how to accurately market and price your home. We're going to be joined with our team leads, Cole Watkins and Kelly Watkins. Cole's going to go a little bit into how we do the actual market value and appraised value, some of the things that we look for, price per square footage, what the things that our appraiser is going to be looking for, what actual market value means opposed to appraised value. Then Kelly Watkins, she's going to wrap it up with a little bit of our marketing strategies on how we get our clients top dollar when selling their home. Let me know what you think.
And the summer selling season is already upon us. We are in so many listing appointments every single week. I'm actually leaving here right after this video to go meet Rio in Cyprus for a listing appointment. So many sellers want to get an idea of the value of their property before we put it up on the market here in the next month or two. So what we wanted to go over today was how as an appraiser, how do we look at the value of a property? You might look at the Harris County or Fort Bend evaluation of the appraisal of your property. That has nothing to do with the market value. So we're strictly talking about market value for your property. And then Kelly is going to talk about really our pricing strategy. So let's get into it. An appraiser is going to be looking at a couple things. And the reason why we want to look at your value compared to an appraiser, how an appraiser is going to look at your property, is because there's a 90% chance that whoever puts an offer in on your property is going to be using some type of conventional FHA VA loan product. If that is the case, then they're going to send an appraiser out there anyway. So we have to kind of know what box we fit in as far as value to an appraiser. So the way that they look at value is this. Let's just say that you have a one-story property. They're going to be looking at one stories, not two stories. If your property has a pool, they're going to be looking at one stories with pools. They're going to do a 10 to 15% above and below your same square footage. And then also keep in mind that they need to find sold properties, 3 to 4 sold properties within your same community. If they don't, then they're going to go about a mile outside of it in adjacent communities with similar year built. Now, if your property was built in 1980, they're not going to take 2010 properties and compare it. But at the same time, the last thing that they're going to look at is the size of it. So the smaller the property, the higher the price per square foot, and the vice versa is true. The larger the property, the lower the price per square foot. Obviously, the larger properties are always going to sell for more because they're larger and they have more square footage. But in a nutshell, that is how an appraiser is going to be looking at it, and that's how we look at it. We have access to the sold information in the MLS, so that's what we use, active, pending, and sold, but really we give sold really the most credit.
And how far do we typically go back when looking at sold properties?
Good question. It depends on the market. So right now, I'm actually getting away with the last 6 months because the last 6 months interest rates were very similar and days on market and inventory were very similar. But if we rewind to 18 months ago and the height of the market, then I would only look at the last 90 to 60 days.
So now we have all of the comps for the property so that we can come up with an accurate price to list the property at. Now there's 3 different ways that we can list the property, and you as a seller truly get to choose which of these strategies that we end up going with. The first one is price it at market value. So pretty much exactly what similar properties have sold for in the past 6 months, we can price it there. Now we can expect it to sit on the market the average amount of days that community is going for. Just for reference, in Houston, properties are sitting for about 42 days on market. In today's market, we're in spring of 2023. The second way that we can price the property is undervalued, just slightly undervalued. So lower it just a little bit, maybe 5 to 10% under what the average market value is going for. What this is going to do, it's going to create a frenzy. Yes, we are still getting multiple offers in today's market. We are still getting multiple showings. We are still getting tons of people through our open houses. And if we price it this way, just under market value, we're going to have a ton of views and potentially a ton of offers driving that price up.
It's not the most popular method, but it is the best method. So a lot of our sellers are like, well, I had this number in my head. And I'm like, yeah, well, you're going to get that number if we price it here. And it's funny, but Kelly and I, we did that with our house last year. When we sold it, we did the same exact thing that we recommend to all of our sellers, and we got about $30,000 more than what we listed it at, and we knew we were going to get that. However, if we listed it there to begin with, it would have sat on the market for a long amount of time, and we wouldn't have gotten that same price point because because it would have been overpriced.
Which leads into a third way of listing a property, which is over market value. And a lot of sellers want to do this because maybe they have special features about the property, maybe they have some things that they've invested in the property, or maybe they just want to throw it out there and see what they can get. They're trying to get the highest price, they're going to list it at the highest price.
Because they lived in it. They want to overprice the property because it's special to them, because they lived in it. And that's really one of the biggest mistakes a seller can make. I literally just was looking at some comps for a property that we will be listing, and one of the actives that came up was a property that I had advised the seller on. We decided not to work together, we wouldn't be a good fit, because they wanted to list it $50,000 over market value. So I said, I'm gonna go this way, you can go that way. Their property is still sitting on the market. They just took a $30,000 hit as far as a price drop. So they're gonna continue to do that, and they will not sell it for as much as if we would have listed it for the price we recommended.
Exactly. So the negative about overpricing is that it's going to sit on the market longer. You're going to have to price reduce over and over again, and you're going to end up getting less than if we had just priced it at market value or right under market value to begin with. So if you are curious about the value of your property, reach out to us today. We actually have a link below that you can get a free home evaluation. Now, this is going to be a generic average market value. If you want even more details, definitely email us or reach out to the Bridge Group, and we can go through each of those strategies, listing at market value, just below, or above market value, in order to get the most amount for your property and to sell it as quickly as possible as well. So reach out to the Bridge Group today. We're happy to help.
All right, now that you've seen this video and you have a better understanding of how we do the appraised value versus the market value and getting the right accurate amount for pricing your home right, let me know if any of you out there would like a free home evaluation on your property. Just shoot me an email, give me a call, shoot me a text message. I'd love to be able to provide that information for you. All right, Emmanuel with the Bridge Group EXP Realty. I'll see you on the next one.